All right, guys, let's get some NCAA plays and props for Friday, February 16th slate of games. Trey, let's take a look at our leaderboard. Have you start us off?
Yep, boys, we swept the board. 2 consecutive days of sweeping the board. We are on a roll. I gave out East Carolina on the money line versus Wichita State. And Wichita State, they got their butt whooped in this game. East Carolina, they won by 13 points. It seemed like they were up 13 points throughout this entire game. So shout out the Pirates.
Yeah, and I had SMU minus 2.5 on the road against Tulane. Not the start I wanted. They were down by 4 points in the half, but I was looking at the stats. The percentage in shots that SMU was hitting was way lower than Tulane. I figured the defense would come out and play well. They did. They were up by 12 points late in the second half. They ended up winning by 8. So not the ass kicking I thought it would be, but a pretty easy cover at minus 2.5 for SMU. So we swept the board there. Trey, let's go to the player props. Have you start us off there?
Yeah, guys, I'm 0-0 right now. I gave out Dawson Garcia under 15.5 points going up against Purdue. The game is at halftime now, and Garcia, he has 9 points, and he's not gotten up a ton of shots, so Edey's doing his job, and I expect Edey to kind of shut him down in the second half. He didn't play a ton of minutes in the first half because he got into foul trouble a little bit early, so I expect him to play a ton in the second half and then lock Garcia down.
Yeah, and I went 1-0 today. I gave out Bowie to go over 17.5 points going up against Rutgers. 17 in the first half, 5 of 5, 5 or 6 from 3. He ended with 27, nearly half their points, and they lost by 3 points. So someone give that man some help. We cash on the player prop 1-0. Trey, let's go to the graphic for our play for tonight. It's Stanford going up against Washington. We both gave out Stanford. It's currently 25 all, so it's looking pretty good. +4. They are almost to halftime, so hopefully Stanford can continue to be competitive in that game. Let's go to the play for tomorrow. I hope you're ready for your eyes to bleed. VCU going up against St. Louis. VCU minus 5.5, over under pretty big, 144. Trey, how do you start?
Yeah, and I get why you're saying get ready for your eyes to bleed because St. Louis, they are not overly good, in VCU, they have a lockdown defense. So I don't see a ton of points being scored here. And this over-under is kind of weird at 144. I would love to bet the under here, but just as a game pick, I got to take VCU minus 5.5. They're just the better team. St. Louis, they've had a massive down year this season, and it's not looked very easy for this Billikens team this season. And VCU, they've looked really good. I mean, it's hard to compare what they did in March Madness all those many years ago to what they're doing now. But they're still an elite mid-major program. They're 16-8, 14-9-1 ATS, and they've just been on a roll. And whenever we look at this matchup historically, VCU 8-2 straight up going up against St. Louis over their last 10 games. And I expect nothing different here. I don't care that this game is at St. Louis because over the last 4 games at St. Louis, it's been 2-2 going for each team. So I expect the better team to win here in this game, and I think they're going to be able to cover this 5.5 pretty easily. Give me VCU minus 5.5, and if you want, the under as well.
Yeah, I don't think maybe not that under, and I'm going to tell you why. I think the over might hit, and we're going to take VCU here minus 5.5. St. Louis at home 2 or 3 years ago, you couldn't have paid me to bet against them at home because I think their home court's very I love the crowd. I love the energy that they have for St. Louis, but I think this is going to be a blowout. VCU minus 5.5 has to play. The offense of VCU, not that great, but the defense of St. Louis is horrible, one of the worst in the nation, and VCU is going to put up 80 points in this game pretty easily. They're very efficient on the offensive side, but they usually play good defensive teams. St. Louis is not a good defensive team. VCU, very good defensively. In that Richmond game I watched, I think it was 18-16 at the halftime or something like that. This VCU team, they get after it on defense. That leads to the offense. VCU, here's the only play for me, minus 5.5 as the play. I think they score 80-plus points, and this becomes a blowout. So VCU, minus 5.5 as the play. Trey, let's go to our plays for tomorrow. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be talking about this North Florida going up against Kennesaw State game. In my opinion, this is going to be a very fun game to watch. Both teams, they've had, at least decent seasons so far. North Florida, they come in this game with a 14-13 record. They're also 14-10 ATS. And the Ospreys, they are also 4-9 on the road this season. In Kennesaw State, they entered this game with a 14-12 record, but they're 8-14-1 ATS. And the Owls, they are 9-3 at home. And these two teams, they've actually already played once this season, and that game was at North Florida. And North Florida, they won that game by 9 points. And I just kind of expect something similar here in this game. Give me North Florida plus 2.5. I absolutely love that we're getting points here in this game because the Ospreys, they're just easily the better team. They're ranked 26 spots higher on the KenPom, and Kennesaw State, they come into this game in an absolute major rut. Over their last 10 games, they have not covered a single game. They're 0-9-1 ATS over that span. That is just no bueno. And buckle in, guys, because this trend is going to be the reason why we win this bet. North Florida, they are ranked number 1 in the country in three-pointers attempted and three-pointers made per game. They take a massive 33.3 three-pointers per game, and I expect them to honestly make the majority of those three-pointers here because Kennesaw State, they are brutal at defending the perimeter. They're ranked bottom 100 in three-pointers allowed per game and three-point percentage allowed. So North Florida, they're going to be able to pour on the points. They're the better team. They're ranked higher in KenPom, and we have all those juicy trends. That's all I need to know, guys. Give me North Florida here, plus 2.5 on the road versus Kennesaw State. And if you have enough confidence, sprinkle some of that money line.
Yeah, Trey, I do like that play there. For my play today, we're going to be looking at one of the only Power 5 teams playing today. It's going to be the Villanova going up against Georgetown game. I'm going to take the road team, Villanova here, minus 9.5 to get the job done. This will be back-to-back times that I break down Villanova. I gave them out on the member side against Seton Hall. They dominated that game. And I believe this Villanova team has to basically win out and then do a pretty good job in the Big East tournament to even make the bracket this season. They have Georgetown twice, should be 2 wins. Butler, Providence, Seton Hall should be all wins. And then they have to play Creighton and Connecticut. They have to split in those 2 games for them to have a chance at the bracket. I think they can easily do that. They are currently on the outside looking in, but everything started for them against that Seton Hall team last weekend, and they're going to come into this game and win by double digits. This is one of the better overall rated teams, according to KenPom, sitting in the top 40, and they are outside the top 64 right now, according to Joe Lunardi for the bracket. And the reason for that has been the luck of Villanova. They've been unlucky in a lot of these games, whether it was the officiating or they just choked down the stretch, which we've seen a lot from this Villanova team this season. In this game, though, we should not see a close matchup. Georgetown's one of the worst teams in the conference, and the only reason they're not the worst team is because DePaul has that crown. Georgetown is very bad this season, only winning 1 conference game. That was against DePaul. Villanova has already played Georgetown this season. It was at home. They beat them by 32 points, scoring 80, allowing 48 in that game. Georgetown has had nothing positive for them over the last several weeks of basketball, and they have been getting crushed by teams. Just over the last 4 games alone, they've lost by 22, 25, and 34 points. Villanova cannot afford to take anybody lightly. They have to win this game in a blowout. Give me Villanova minus 9.5 on the road against Georgetown as the play. Trey, let's go to the player props. How do you start us off?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be staying in that game. Give me Eric Dixon to go over his PRAs against Georgetown. I really love this over for Dixon in this game because I believe he's going to dominate here in this one, and he is a pure scorer. I agree with everything Bear just said. I expect Dixon to set the tone early in this one because we have a lot of juicy trends in our favor. The first trend is simply his matchup versus Georgetown. This Hoyas team is terrible on the defensive end, like so very bad. They are ranked in the bottom 50 in a lot of defensive categories. That is no bueno. And whenever we factor in how Dixon has played on the road this year, it gives me a ton of confidence in this play as well because in Dixon's 9 road games, he's averaging 33 minutes per game and turning that into a massive average of 26.9 PRAs per game. I believe that Dixon can easily reach that number in this game. He's going up against an abysmal team in Georgetown. They've kind of given up and thrown in the towel. So give me Eric Dixon to go over his PRAs versus Georgetown.
Yep, love the play there, Trey. Agree with everything you said. For my player prop today, I'm going to be looking at Shereef Mitchell of the Ohio Bobcats to go over his total points going up against the Toledo Rockets. It is a smaller slate, but that does not mean we have less talent because the MAC conference has some of the best players in the nation, and they are the most entertaining to watch. Mitchell, he's a senior for this Ohio team, and he's been one of the best players all season long for them, averaging 13.3 points per game, and he's shooting 49.4% on the season. And this is going to be a great game to watch because these are some of the 2 high-powered offenses in the nation going head-to-head. If you watched any Toledo games, the scores usually are 80-plus to 80-plus because Toledo's going to score 80 points in this game, but they're most likely going to give up 80 points as well. For Mitchell, he scored 16 points the last time they faced off against Toledo in a losing effort. And I have a feeling at home in this game, he's going to be even better than the last time out. He's coming off the worst performance of the season, only scoring 4 points against Ball State, but he also only played 23 minutes in that game. He was in and out. He had some foul trouble. He's also dealing with a little ankle tweak, but he looks ready to go in this game against Toledo. He's also played 30-plus minutes in 5 of the last 6 games, so I don't think a minute restriction is going to be a problem for him. And in conference play, he's been a great player, scoring double-digit points in every game but 2 this season. We're probably going to get this at a pretty favorable number at 13.5 points. I'm going to hit the over on this play. Ohio going up against Toledo. It's going to be at least 160 points scored in this game. Give me Shereef Mitchell to go over his total points in a shootout against Toledo as the play. Trey, let's go to the graphic. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going with North Florida here, plus 2.5 against Kennesaw State. They're the number 1 team in the nation in three-pointers attempted and three-pointers made. And Kennesaw State, they're brutal on the perimeter at defending, so I expect them to just roll here in this game. Also going with Eric Dixon over his PRAs versus Georgetown. I agree with everything Bear said about breaking down this Georgetown team. They're not good. Villanova is going to roll on the back of Eric Dixon.
Yeah, Villanova, -9.5. Georgetown's really bad. I think Villanova is going to beat them by 20-plus points, even though they're on the road. And then Shereef Mitchell, over his total points again, probably going to be 13.5, right around his average. But Toledo, really bad defensively. Ohio can run it up on them. Should be an 80-plus points for both teams. So I like the over points for Mitchell in a shootout. Guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA basketball plays and props for Friday, February 16th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Super Bowl. We also have 12,000 subs coming right around the bend. We're at 10,200. We're going to give away 2 tickets to anybody to any game they want. NBA, NFL, college basketball. It doesn't matter. We can wait until the new season for NFL. Any game you want to go, whenever we get to 12K, we're going to have that giveaway coming up as well. We also have a new game. It's going to be Trey and myself versus the Bear Pack. You can call it Pros versus Joes if you want. I don't really like the name because I don't consider us pros. I don't consider you guys Joes. But Trey, if you want to go to the YouTube channel, this is how you guys play. You're going to go to our YouTube channel. You're going to hit the community tab. We've been in the community tab a lot this season. You're going to go to the community tab. We have our plays for the day. So obviously the intro is not going to have plays for today, but these are our plays for our next video. It's the Pelicans -2.5, the Heat -5, Quinnipiac -4.5, and Wisconsin -10.5. Those are Trey's and myself's plays. What you guys are going to do is pick which one you think will not hit, meaning you're going to fade us, which is Pros versus Joes, which is the game called, but you guys are going to try to pick which one is not going to hit. If you guys win, you're going to get a point. If we win, we're going to get a point. We're going to run it Friday through Friday every single week. Whichever team has the most wins, so 4-3, 6-2, whatever it is, that person or group will win $50. If the community wins, we're going to do a wheel spin for the community. If we win, I don't know how we're going to get our cheddar, but you guys are just going to have to subscribe, I guess, more. But that's the game. Hopefully everybody understands it. Trey, let's get into the video. Look at the leaderboard. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's 2 options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube. And it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,